Hi, and welcome back to my channel. It's also Victoria, where I'm a part-time reseller on Etsy, Poshmark, and eBay and Thrilling. And I'm going to go over 19 sales, 19 sales. And this is actually in the first week of, I believe it's the first week of December. And I'm recording this on in January, so and I don't know when I'll get it up for viewing. Um, but I just plug along, keep plugging along because I sell one-off items, vintage items, some modern clothes and stuff, and so it's kind of what's out there and what's selling different things. Okay, so let me get started and go over the the fees, that sort of stuff, and the gross, the net, blah, blah, blah. And I'll put that right up here. So the gross I made $572.49, and my fees were $106.78, and my cost of goods were $69.24. So it's all weird here. And so my net profit was $396.47. And so sometimes I'm off in my math calculation, but figures are close enough. Sometimes they're spot on too. So anyway, yeah. So my net profit was just under $400 for the first week of November. And I also started upping my ad fees, and I may have done that last month, but I know certainly for uh, December. I just started doing the max ad fees just to get things moving out there and getting it on Google search and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so I was going to go over what sold in each shop and how much each shop made. So in my Etsy vintage clothing shop, Also Victoria, I sold two items for a total of $58. And my Cameron D shop on Etsy, where I sell collectibles, I sold two items for a total of $110. And then on my Poshmark closet, I sold five items for a total of $121. And eBay, I sold eight items for a total of $255.49. And Thrilling, I sold two items for a total of $28. So, yay, eBay wins, but I also sold more items on eBay. I guess they still win. Okay, let me go over what sold. And this kind of just gives you an idea of what sold at this particular time of year because we are looking prior to Christmas. Um, Not that that makes a big difference sometimes. And so on eBay, and I did spend $1.95 on the ad for this, I sold this Crazy Horse vintage t-shirt for $24.99. It cost me $2 at the senior center over in Port Orford, where I picked up, I don't know, maybe four or five vintage t-shirts. They were $2 a piece, and I'm in the process of listing those now. Anyway, I picked that up at the senior center. Port Orford is over on the coast in Oregon. I don't think it's in California. I think it's it's in the Oregon coast. And I did that in June, and I listed it in October, so it took just less than 2 months to sell, about a month and a half for that to sell, if that. A month and 1 week for that to sell. And then also on eBay, I saw this Brenda white t-shirt rayon. I believe this may have had tags. I can't remember. For $9, I paid $2.50 for it at the Goodwill here in Ashland, and I may have picked it up because it had tags on it. I'll show it if it does or not. And I picked that up in 2019, like 2 years ago, and I listed it in May of 21, so that took about 7 months for that to sell or so thereabouts. And Etsy, Also Victoria, my vintage clothing shop, I sold these 70s, 80s white stirrup pants. They were Cheetah was the brand, and they were from Mervyn's, and I believe all the Mervyn's have closed down. Sold them for $28. They cost me 25 cents. I picked them up at the Humane Society over in Brookings on the coast in March of 21 and listed them April of 21. So that's what, 8 months to sell. Stirrup pants seems to be picking up in sales. These are the only ones I have. I think these are the only ones I sold. But I've seen other folks, some of my vintage people I follow, also have been selling their stirrup pants too. So go figure. The vintage ones, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, the 25¢, they have a, outside the Humane Society in Brookings, they have a 25¢ rack. And I always hit that first and see what I could find for 25¢ that I might be able to sell. And then on Poshmark, I sold this Gasoline's a brand, white corduroy jacket. It was pretty cool. I had that fur trimmy thing on it for $22. It must have been an extra large size because I picked it up for $1 at my neighbor's yard sale, and she was a 2X, she had 2X, sometimes 3X clothing. So it was really good to find all the extra large. And then she lost weight, and so that's why she was selling all her stuff. But it was the last day of the sale, and she was getting rid of everything for $1 unless she was giving it away. And that was back in 2020, and I listed it. I actually just listed it. I listed it the same day it sold. So I listed it on December 2nd, 21, and it sold on December 2nd, 21, which is really cool because it was a really cool jacket. And then on Thrilling, I sold this Cameo lucite earrings. They had a little red cameo in the lucite, and so I sold these camo lucite earrings. They had red lucite in them. I sold them for $10. I picked them up for 50¢ from my mom's neighbor who was selling his mom's stuff, and he was in his 80s, and I believe his mom was still alive, or maybe he was in his early 80s and she was in her late. I don't know, but anyway, or she just passed away. I can't remember. Anyway, they sold for $10, and I just gave he brought me a bunch of jewelry and stuff of hers, and then I said, well, what do you want for all that? And he quoted me a price, and so I paid him, and then I kind of calculated what each piece from that price would cost, kind of thing. So I paid, anyway, that was back in 2017. And on eBay, I sold this Woolwich plaid coat for $98. I think it was an offer with a discounted offer to likers, and it cost me $8 at a yard sale here in town back in August of 21, and I had listed it in November, so it took less than a month to sell, but this actually got returned, and I just got it returned after Christmas. So they actually had 30 days. They had a couple of days past the 30 days, but who cares? eBay doesn't really care. So they opened a return, and I accepted the return, and I just got it back. They said it didn't fit. It was too small. Otherwise, they would have kept it. And they paid, well, they paid $24 to get it shipped to them. And then I think they paid like another 20-something dollars to ship it back to me. So all in all, they're a nice customer. Decent customer. Unfortunately, the jacket didn't fit. So I have it, and I have it relisted. So we'll see. And then on Poshmark, I sold this Drapers and Damon's Asian jacket for $40. Cost me $2 at the Illinois thrift store in Cave Junction, where she's only open on a Sunday. Really need to get back there on a Sunday. Usually we go to the coast over the weekend, on the weekend back, if we make it back enough and she's open, I'll stop there. I think I only stopped there one time though. Got some cool stuff. Anyway, I listed it April and it sold in December. So 8 months, something like that. And then on Poshmark, I also sold these Lucky brand bootcut jeans for $18, and I picked them up at the Goodwill for $5.50 back in 2019. I opened my Poshmark shop on January 2019, so they said Lucky brand, and that's what I was listening to YouTube sellers. They were saying the Lucky brand. I don't pay much attention to some of them anymore. Like they say, do your comps. Do your comps to see what's trending or selling or whatever, because sometimes the market just gets flooded with stuff, and then there's tons of stuff out there. So why pick it up when people are, I don't know, whatever. It would be your personal business model, how you do it. Okay. So yeah, I listed those on 2019, so it took almost a couple years to sell. Not quite. And then on Poshmark also, I sold this Catherine's purple top. This was a 5X. Sold it for $25, paid 31 cents for it, and I'm pretty sure, I didn't put it here, but I'm pretty sure I got it at that fill a bag sale at that church. Because one day, it was $5 a bag. One day I bought one month I bought 6 bags, another month I bought 5 bags. So it ended up being 31 cents a bag. And then I listed it. I just listed it on December 3rd. It sold December 4th. Oh, that took one day to sell. And what it was, it was in somebody's, and that was on Poshmark, but it was also on eBay, and somebody had put a like or an interest or whatever, a watch on it on eBay. And then it sold on Poshmark, so I had to take it off of eBay. But I did have a blue one, which also sold to the person on eBay. I'll get to that. Okay, let me finish the purple. Okay, so purple sold $25, paid 31 cents, and then on Poshmark I sold this Deb black sequin crop top for $16. This was given to me by my daughter. In 2019, listed 2019, so that took a couple of years to sell. So there was no cost of goods to that. So back to the Catherine's 5X top. So the one lady missed out on the offer I made her on eBay because somebody on Poshmark came in and swooped it up and bought it. But I also had she also had put a watch to likers, or like whatever it is on eBay, watchers, I don't know. And so I sent an offer. I think I usually send out when I first list it 20%. As time goes by, I might lower it to 15 to 20%, whatever. And so she did buy it at that time. I guess she didn't want to miss out again on another sale. So anyway, she paid $25.95 for that one. Don't know why it was more. Probably just because of how eBay operates. I don't know. Once again, it cost me 31 cents at that same thrift store. And sold in one day. And on eBay, I sold this red Swirl Art Glass that was signed on the bottom. So it was studio art glass. Hand blown kind of thing. I sold it for $18. Cost me $1.28 at it's called the Regroup. It's a Habitat for Humanity shop. They also call it the Regroup shop for whatever reason over in Bend. And that shop in Bend for their collectible stuff is really good. I will say they have some really nice stuff at very inexpensive prices. So anyway, let me see. And that was in July of last year, listed in October of last year. So it took 2 months for that to sell. And then on Etsy, my vintage collectible shop, a Cameron D shop, I sold this Winnie the Pooh rabbit, 1960s Disney rabbit. It was one of those probably sawdust filled rabbits, velour thing. Sold it for $65, and it cost me 65 cents at the Goodwill bins in Medford. Picked it up in June of last year and listed it September of last year. So September, October, November, took 2 months. 2 months for that to sell. And let's see, a few more items, like 5 or 6 more items. On eBay, this Indonesia Petite graphic print top. I believe this is a print top. Sold for $29.75. Sold it for, I bought it for $2.50 at the Goodwill here in Ashland back in 2019, and I listed it. So this is an interesting one. In fact, I have a dress that I haven't relisted, but I had this top and a dress on Poshmark. The lady made a bundle for the top and the dress because they were size small, and they were both petite print. And then she canceled, and then whatever the prices were, they get an automatic with a bundle. I offer a 20% discount. And so anyway, she canceled the sale. I'm like, bummer. Okay, but then I relisted the top on eBay. Haven't relisted the dress yet. And then the next day it sold for $29.75, for much more than what I actually had it listed on Poshmark for. So pretty good. And I love when things like that happen. So yeah, I paid $2.50 at the Goodwill in Ashland. But what I loved, I just love that print. I've never seen anything like that, and I tried to research what it is, where it could have come from. Best I could get is like a Java print, Petite. Anyway, and also on eBay, I sold these Zella leggings. They were a size 2X. I sold them for $14. I actually paid $6.29. I don't know what I was doing at the Goodwill over on the coast because I was trying to get, it was COVID time. And so I was trying to do the active wear, exercise wear, whatever wear that was really hitting the market hot and fast, I guess, during COVID. And so at home wear clothing. And so I picked them up. I also picked up a pair of Lululemons, had them listed on Poshmark, and somebody said, and I put them at a plus size because they're a large, really large size, and there was no tag on them on the inside. And they were dance pants, leggings, Lululemon dance pants leggings. And somebody said, oh, Lululemon doesn't make plus size clothing. I'm like, okay, so I've taken them down. But as I research, I think these Lululemons are actually an original first year Lululemon made in Canada leggings. That's my thought on them. But I don't know for sure. I could go to Lululemon fanatics on Facebook maybe and ask them what they know. So I think maybe they're from the 80s. I think Lululemon came out in the 80s. Was it in the 80s, early 90s or something? That's when they started producing. I don't know. Anyway, and then on Thrilling, I saw this 80s dangle earrings. You have to see the picture because I'm not quite sure which ones they are. I'm like almost kind of could picture them. Anyway, I saw tin. They were tin, and I had several different kinds of tin earrings that I picked up at an estate sale back in July of last year, 2019, from the 80s, and these were one of them. Anyway, I sold them for $18 and I paid $1.23 for them, and I listed them in January of this year, and I'm kind of confused on this. Anyway, they're also maybe listed on eBay. I don't know. But anyway, I listed them in January on Thrilling. And so, or last year, January. So they took almost a year to sell. But they weren't on Thrilling that long because they didn't go up on Thrilling until this last fall, like September, October, maybe October, November, something like that. And then on my vintage shop, on my Etsy shop, oh, so Victoria, I sold this petite dress, brown dress, which I've had forever because I picked it up in 2010. Bought it at the Goodwill here in Ashland, and that's when they were selling dresses for $4.79. So it sold for $30, and I listed it 11 years ago. So I listed it 11 years ago. It got relisted on Etsy 25 times at 20 cents each, which cost me $5 to keep it listed on Etsy for 11 years. Just to say, it's pretty cheap if you just keep things relisting on Etsy until they sell. If you have the storage space, I know some people do this thing like I'm not a storage unit or something. Well, I'm a vintage seller, so maybe that's the difference. I don't know. When you sell vintage, vintage is always vintage. Okay. Anyway, and I do have the space. I have a studio place to keep everything. And then on eBay, I sold this Venus denim bodycon dress for $24.99. I paid $2 for it at a yard sale, at a friend's yard sale. And I was talking about some things I sold at that yard sale, but anyway, slowly selling things, and hopefully will eventually make my money back, what I gave, what I bought the stuff for, which I'm sure I will once I get everything listed. And then eventually, not everything might sell, but enough things I think of that pile of stuff will sell. They'll make my money back and some profit, which is what I'm looking for. And let's say I listed that in October of 21. So it took 2 months for that to sell. And then my last thing on Etsy, in my vintage collectible shop, I sold these cutie pie musical figures. A little girl dressed as a nurse, a little black girl dressed as a nurse. I sold it for $45. Cost me $3.59 at the Goodwill in Brookings. Picked it up in 2020, and I just listed it December of last year. So it actually took 1 day to sell, and there really aren't many cutie pies, the brand, online on Google at all. So that's why I priced it 45. There's some similar kind of things, but of course there was nothing like this. I think when I first picked it up back in 2020, there may have been one similar to this, but since then nothing. And I actually picked this up from another reseller who has a daughter who was a CNA that was going into more training, and I want a cup from her and her site, and I wanted to send this to her, and I had reached out and said, but then I never really heard back. So I had it sitting on my shelf forever, and I thought, okay, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and sell it. But I really did buy it as a gift for someone. Huh, whatever. Kind of sad, kind of nice. All good. I do appreciate other resellers because I think they're very awesome, and when they put their stuff out there for everybody, love it. And okay, so that's everything. That's all 19 items. If you like what sold, subscribe, or hauls, subscribe. Adventures, subscribe. Hit the bell. All in my playlist, so you could just go down the playlist. If a video comes up, watch it or not watch it, look through the playlist, whatever. Like, thumbs up, appreciate that, and a comment, so we can see how everybody's doing out there. So thanks a lot for watching. Okay, bye.